to take all my personal possessions off the property before I sell it. And I need to, hey Susanna, how are you? No, just a little interview.
Love it.
Yeah, still fighting against the town of Lyme. That's what we're talking about me and my trucks. Maybe I collect trucks, and maybe you think I have too many trucks. I said, but if it's somebody that's elite, you collect money. You got more money than you're ever gonna, why do you need that money? I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna take your money. Wait, that's called theft. I can't do that. I can't come to your house and break in your home and steal your belongings. That's your property. Why should you be able to lean on the select board and get them to come and steal my private property, my private collection of what I believe is assets, my trucks? How is that okay? How is it okay that you can hoard money but I can't have trucks? I'm not against cleaning up my property. I know I need to. I got to get rid of some stuff. I got to work on some of my project trucks, get them going again. They've gone after me in court multiple times. I've had to fight them in court. But 2 years ago, they put forth a warrant article at town meeting to raise $150,000 to clean up my property. First of all, it's an obscene amount of money to do a job that shouldn't take anywhere near that much. Secondly, the problem lies in the fact that this money, all funds that were put forth to cleaning up my property, the worst part is that I would have to pay for the loss and destruction of my own private property. How obscene and horrifying is that? And they're still attempting to do this. This year at town meeting back in March, the town again went to the voters at town meeting and asked for another $100,000 to clean up my property. Another, which would make it a grand total of $250,000. And the thing of it is, it's like people ask me all the time, well, why do you need all those trucks? Why don't you just pick out one and keep that one and get rid of the rest of those old junks? It's because it's like, I mean, it's not as important as my kids, obviously, but that'd be like asking me, well, you don't need 4 kids. Why don't you just get rid of a couple kids? What 2 kids do you want to get? That doesn't, you know. I grew up on my grandparents' farm and, you know, haying in the summer and you know, doing firewood and then plowing in the winter and going fishing with my uncle and riding in the back of his pickup truck. Not a care in the world, riding in the back of his truck and going to that secret fishing spot. And when I fix up one of these old trucks and I put it back into use, it brings me back to my youth, my childhood days, you know, with my family and the things that we used to do in a simpler time when things didn't seem to be so chaotic and you know, the way they are now. Another aspect of those trucks is that I spend a great deal of time with my family working on these trucks, especially my kids and especially my oldest son, but hopefully also my 2 younger sons and my daughter. It's togetherness, time that we get to spend together. So this collection of old junk vehicles and parts and stuff, to an outside view, particularly of a town governing body, it might look like a worthless collection of junk or a junkyard or something like that, but the distinction is it's a specific kind of vehicle. I buy these vehicles, I fix them up, and then I put these trucks back into use to support my family. So these trucks are not junk. They actually have a lot of life left in them. They're very good. Some of them are past the point of no return, and those trucks become parts trucks to keep the others alive. I'm going to plan on keeping these trucks for the rest of my life. I'm going to be that 80-year-old guy that wheels in here to the store in his now 75-year-old truck, and everybody's going to be like, wow, that's really cool, and I can tell the whole story of that truck from when I got it and how I fixed it up and everything else and what I've done with it over the years. I can recall everything about it, the year I bought it, how much I paid for it, who I bought it from. I can recall all that stuff. It's all in my mind. So this truck is a 1969, so that's, how old is that? That is 57 years old. This truck's 57 years old. It's only got 44,000 miles on it, but it's 57 years old. I'd love to see somebody be able to take a car or a truck from now, a new car and truck, and let's see if it's around 57 years from now and still running. They think because I'm of modest means and I live humbly and everything else, they think that I'm ignorant and that I'm stupid and that I'm going to take the bait and I'm going to go for this stuff, and I'm not doing it. I stand on principles. This is my lifestyle. These old trucks are my whole life, and to think that you can tell me that they're junk and that I have to get rid of them is just shocking and appalling. I mean, when I just demonstrated, just proved right here, this isn't a piece of junk. This is a project that's coming along, and this thing, I brought this thing back from the dead. I mean, this engine was seized, you know, it didn't even run, wouldn't even start, wouldn't crank over, and look at it now. So for the town to insinuate that this stuff is all a bunch of junk that I'm randomly collecting and for no good reason is blatantly false. And it's really a great disservice to unusual people like me. I'm not like everybody else. I'm weird. I'm unusual. I do something that most people don't do. It's different. And you know, people are afraid of things that are different. You know, I see a lot of things that I might not understand or I might not like. But I try to have tolerance and think, well, you know, that's not for me. I think that's kind of weird. But that person, that's their life. They should be able to do what they want to, live and let live, basically. And I mentioned this before in court. This is David versus Goliath. But if you go back to the Bible and you read the story, who won in the end? It wasn't Goliath, it was David. David won with his slingshot. I'm David, the town is Goliath. So that's what I keep in mind. This is a hard-won battle. It's cost me a lot of work. It's cost me a lot of time with my family. It's cost me a lot of money. It's caused me anxiety and panic attacks and just dread. But I'm not going to lay down and just let them do what they're going to do. I'm going to fight for my rights and fight for my family and fight for my way of life. And that's the thing that gets me up every day and keeps me going. Kids love SpongeBob. This reminds me of the episode of SpongeBob where they're trying to refilm. They're trying to film the new Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy movie.
Yes,
and Patrick's running the camera, and then the lens cap was on the whole time. SpongeBob has a meltdown. That was so hilarious.